New York is a city of dreams, a place where ambition and hope seem to rise with the sun each morning. Its skyline is a symbol recognized around the world, promising opportunity and excitement to all who arrive. Here, millions come to see the iconic skyscrapers that scrape the clouds and the dazzling lights of Broadway that never seem to dim. The city pulses with energy, drawing visitors and dreamers alike into its vibrant heart. It's a city of endless possibility, where every street corner feels like the start of a new story, and every block is alive with the rhythm of countless footsteps and voices. People from every corner of the globe arrive here, each bringing their own hopes, cultures, and dreams, adding to the city's ever-changing mosaic. But there is another New York, one that exists just out of sight for many, hidden in the shadows of those same towering buildings. In this other city, people struggle to find shelter and safety, even as the world rushes by just a few feet away. It's a city of hardship, where the cold concrete offers little comfort, and the promise of a better tomorrow feels distant and uncertain. For thousands, a safe place to sleep is not a given, but a desperate hope that fades with each passing night. For many, the dream that brought them here has become a daily fight for survival, a struggle to find food, warmth, and dignity in a city that can be both generous and unforgiving. This hidden New York is a city in crisis, where makeshift shelters and tent encampments have become a common sight, and the line between hope and despair grows thinner every day. The gap between the postcard image and the street-level reality is vast, a chasm that divides neighbors and neighborhoods, sometimes by only a single block. A family laughs in front of a luxury store, their arms full of shopping bags, enjoying the city's promise of abundance and excitement. Just steps away, someone holds a sign asking for help, their presence a quiet reminder of the city's other reality. These two cities coexist side by side, often unnoticed by one another. Their stories unfold on the same streets but in different worlds. One city celebrates wealth, ambition, and success. The other endures poverty, struggle, and uncertainty. This is the story of New York in 2024, a tale of incredible highs and devastating lows, where the city's beauty and pain are woven together in every block and borough. As we explore the famous sights and marvel at the city's achievements, we must also open our eyes to the deepening crisis of homelessness that shadows its streets. The challenge is not just to witness, but to understand and respond, to see the humanity in every face and the urgency in every story. It challenges us to decide which New York we want to be, a city that turns away, or one that reaches out and lifts up its most vulnerable. It forces us to ask what our responsibility is to one another in a place of such abundance and need, and whether we can bridge the divide between these two cities. The story affects not only those without a home, but every New Yorker, shaping the city's future and its conscience. In the end, the fate of New York's soul depends on how we answer these questions, together as one city. New York's homelessness crisis is a deafening roar captured in stark numbers. Behind the city's glittering skyline and relentless energy, a different story unfolds, one of struggle, uncertainty, and survival on the margins. As of early 2024, New York has the second largest homeless population in the U.S., a staggering reality that continues to grow with each passing month. Over 158,000 people across the state wake up without a permanent home. For many, the day begins not with comfort, but with the uncertainty of where they'll sleep next. The number of homeless individuals has doubled in just 2 years. This dramatic surge is not just a statistic, it's a reflection of lives upended and families torn apart. The heart of this crisis is New York City, with its shelter system stretched to the limit. Shelters are overflowing and resources are being pushed to the breaking point. On any given night, over 100,000 people seek shelter, including tens of thousands of children. For these families, the shelter is both a refuge and a reminder of how fragile stability can be. Volunteers and social workers do what they can, but the sheer scale of the crisis makes it difficult to reach everyone in need. This crisis is part of a larger national trend, with homelessness reaching a record high in 2024. Cities across America are grappling with similar challenges, but New York's numbers are among the most severe. New York's rate of homelessness is more than 3 times the national average. The gap between those with homes and those without is growing wider every year. The crisis extends beyond the city, affecting communities from Long Island to Niagara. Small towns and rural areas are seeing more people without stable housing than ever before. High costs, low wages, and a lack of housing are deep-rooted problems across the state. Even those working full-time jobs often find themselves unable to afford rent. Evictions are on the rise, and many families are just one paycheck away from losing their homes. The forces driving people from their homes are not confined to the metropolis. From bustling cities to quiet suburbs, the numbers tell a story of a crisis that touches every corner of New York. Behind every number is a human face, a story of loss and resilience. The most heartbreaking faces belong to the children. In New York, the number of homeless children has skyrocketed to over 50,000. Families are torn apart by economic instability, forced to make impossible choices. Homelessness is not personal failure, but a system where survival costs outpace wages. People of color and gender-expansive individuals face systemic barriers, making them vulnerable. Older adults, the fastest-growing homeless demographic, are pushed out by rent hikes. Their presence on the streets is a profound indictment of a society failing its elders. They face their final years with fear and insecurity instead of dignity. The roots of New York's homelessness crisis are deep, a perfect storm of pressures. At its core is a severe lack of affordable housing. For every 100 low-income households, only 35 affordable homes are available. This scarcity is worsened by relentless rent rises, pushing costs out of reach. The end of COVID-19 relief exposed the vulnerability of millions. An influx of asylum seekers has strained the shelter system further. The city struggles to provide for both long-time residents and new arrivals. For travelers, New York is a grand stage of iconic sights and electric energy. Yet, the homelessness crisis is visible in the very places that draw visitors. In transit hubs and parks, the contrast between spectacle and suffering is stark. This visibility creates a dissonance, challenging perceptions of New York. The presence of extreme poverty alongside wealth is jarring. It transforms a vacation into a lesson in social studies, revealing inequality. The crisis reflects a reality as much a part of New York's identity as its landmarks. It asks visitors and residents, what does it mean to thrive where many struggle? The city's image is complex, a mirror reflecting deep social issues. New York City's subway is a network of constant motion and diversity. For thousands, it's become a shelter of last resort. When shelters are full or unsafe, the subway offers escape from harsh weather. The hard seats of a train car become a bed for the night. This highlights the desperation of their situation, a survival tactic born of necessity. For travelers, it can be an uncomfortable encounter, a testament to a failing safety net. The subway is a complex social environment displaying deep inequalities. The person sleeping in the car is a fellow passenger seeking shelter. Their presence questions why a subway car is the only home some can find. In this crisis, the government has taken action, expanding the shelter system. Outreach services connect people with temporary housing and resources. These are necessary emergency responses to manage a fast-growing crisis. However, they address symptoms, not root causes. Shelters provide a roof but not a home, often crowded and impersonal. Community efforts fill gaps, offering material aid and compassion. Nonprofits and citizens work tirelessly, providing meals and care. This patchwork response combines government infrastructure with community support. Both are essential, but not enough to build the needed affordable housing. The response remains a reaction rather than a proactive strategy. Amid struggles, there are proven solutions offering hope. Permanent supportive housing provides a home first, then support services. This model is transformative, offering stability and cost-effectiveness. Despite success, it's underfunded, a powerful tool not fully utilized. The Ending Veteran Homelessness Initiative shows what's possible with commitment. It cut veteran homelessness by 55% through targeted investment and collaboration. This success provides a roadmap for addressing the broader crisis. Progress requires a housing-first philosophy and strong partnerships. The challenge is not knowledge, but the will to implement solutions. The blueprints are in our hands. We just need to build. The story of homelessness is about people, not just statistics. Each face you see on the street has a name, a history, and dreams that matter. Behind every number is a person with hopes, fears, and a longing for dignity. It's about the child dreaming of a bed to call their own, the parent fearing they've let their family down, the elder feeling invisible as the world rushes by. These are stories of resilience and struggle, of people doing their best to survive in a city that sometimes forgets them. We can choose to look away pretending not to see, or we can pause and acknowledge their humanity. A simple glance, a smile, or a kind word can remind someone that they matter. Empathy is the starting point for change, the spark that ignites action. When we open our hearts, we begin to see solutions instead of obstacles. Understanding that anyone, regardless of background or circumstance, can fall on hard times helps us break down barriers. Homelessness is not a distant problem. It could touch any of us. By replacing judgment with compassion, we break down walls that separate us. We build bridges of understanding and support, creating a stronger community for everyone. Simple gestures, offering a blanket, a meal, or even a moment of kindness, can restore dignity to those feeling forgotten. These acts remind people that they are not alone. Travelers and locals alike can support organizations providing food, shelter, and hope. Every donation, every hour volunteered, makes a real difference in someone's life. Advocate for solutions like permanent supportive housing, which offers stability and a path forward for those in need. These programs are proven to change lives. Demand that elected officials prioritize long-term investments in affordable housing and mental health services. Our voices can shape policies that create lasting change. This crisis tests our shared values of community, compassion, and responsibility. It asks us what kind of city we want to be. Change is possible when we act with empathy and determination. Together, we can build a future where no one is left behind. The path forward requires believing New York can be a place of hope and opportunity for all. Everyone deserves a safe place to call home. The choice is ours to make. Will we turn away, or will we stand together and create a city where everyone belongs?